Hello there, and welcome to our very second episode of our original Team Red Hills podcast. I'm your host for the day, Samuel, along with my co-host.
Kashi Kamar. So, our today's guest is the director of our school, Mr. Vinay Prabhudev sir. Welcome to the show, sir.
Happy to be here.
So, could you start off by telling a bit more about yourself?
Where do we start? Do you want me to start from, say, my childhood or any?
You can brief it up, I guess. Maybe education-wise.
Okay, so I finished. I'm from Bangalore, so did my schooling in Bangalore, pre-university years in Bangalore. Then I did my engineering in Bangalore, and then I got an opportunity to do my masters in the US. So I was there for about 5 years. So I completed my masters, and then I also got an opportunity to work. So in the US, yeah. So my field of study was in. So my engineering was in biotechnology. So my master's was in biological sciences, specializing in biotechnology. So you must be wondering, what is he doing in a school? Yeah. So after 5 years in the US, I came back to India, and I was presented with an opportunity wherein, why don't you come and spend some time in the school? So when I came here, on that day, I did not know that I will be here 9 years after. Okay, so it was not. It was something that just happened. So they asked me, why don't you come and spend some time and see how you feel about it. I consider myself very lucky to be given that opportunity.
You did not regret the decision?
No regrets at all. I would rather be doing this than be in a corporate setup.
Why so?
So that's a question I have also, sort of asked myself, and the answer that I told myself is that, so when you are part of a big corporate setup, you're going to do something that may be significant, that may not be significant. Not many or not everyone will get an opportunity where they can make an impact or on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But at a school, every decision you take, everything that you do, there is instant feedback that you get. The feedback may not come in a day, but you'll definitely see the feedback within a year.
Yes.
Right? So that is one of the things that I love about being part of a school. And every time I see, my students going and achieving certain things. I think yesterday, 3 of our students went to Malaysia and represented the school in a international competition for abacus.
Yeah.
So did you guys also do abacus when you were part of?
Yeah, I did.
You did. So they won. One of them was a grand champion, and 2 of them were I forget. But it's I was very happy to see that these 3 students were actually given a platform where they could go on an international platform, perform and achieve these results. And the reason why I say I am very proud is because at some point in the last year or 2, we had to take a decision whether to continue giving abacus or not. And I must say, we chose the right path, or we took the right step in continuing, because today when I see those 3 students who have won, that sort of validates that yes, that decision was right, and this is the result.
So sir, we all are aware of your education abroad, So, from a foreign student point of view, could you give us a contrast of foreign education and education in India?
Interesting question, and a very difficult question also, because what I studied there was post graduation, not even undergrads, post graduation, and what we do here is primary, secondary education. So drawing parallels of what we do here to what I studied in my post graduation would not be right. I don't think we can do justice by doing that. But what I can say, or what I felt there was, so I had done my undergraduate here in India in one of our universities, and when I went there, and when I compared myself to those students who had done undergraduate there, I felt I was very under-equipped, or I did not have
Exposed much.
Exposed.
yeah. So most of it is very book knowledge. Uh, yes, they would take us to labs, but it was, so this is what it is. And uh, but when I would interact with the students there who had done their undergraduate there, I could see a stark contrast in how much of knowledge they acquire versus what we acquire
Outside the
here.
box kind of thing.
Yes, yes. I mean, I would say that's a whole different topic altogether. But I don't know much about, to answer your question, I don't know much about the primary and the secondary education that happens there. At least from what I have read and what I have heard, we seem to be, when I say we, when I say India, because that's the comparison, right? I've seen and I've read that we seem to be doing okay when it comes to education here and there, because America is currently struggling with STEM education, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Is that the correct? Somebody has to fact check this this one, but I feel India has a very strong
Base.
foundation and base when it comes to STEM, which is also, again, fact check my this one, which is why we have a lot of these big tech companies having a lot of yeah.
Going aside from education for a moment, could you tell us a bit more about your hobbies and interests?
Yeah, so let's start with what I'm doing currently, because I think about 2-3 years ago I started playing cricket again.
Okay.
So I used to play cricket before I went to the US, and then there was a long gap, about 10-15 years I didn't play, and then I started playing again, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So most of my weekends I play cricket, so I'm part of a club, and we play leather ball cricket, and it's very, very the way I'm looking at sport now compared to the way I used to look at cricket before is very different. It has taught me a lot. I guess, and I would love to say this to everybody, to all my students. If you have an opportunity, please pick a team sport and play that sport. Because team sports will definitely teach you, interpersonal skills, I cannot put names to all the skills that you pick up, but at least what it has taught me is it's not just about yourself.
Humans are social beings.
Yes, you definitely have to go out and meet, and then when you are with a team, right, you win, you lose, so you share all these emotions. Winning is an emotion that you share as a team. Losing is an emotion. If you have the opportunity, please pick up. Please pick and start playing a team sport. It's wonderful. Like I said, it has helped me a lot mentally and physically, because you want to perform best. You want to give your 100% for your team's performance, and that can be possible only when you are physically, at your best. You cannot go and play a cricket match, with backache or a shoulder pain or something. So you're going to do everything to keep yourself fit so that you can perform 100% on the field when you get the opportunity. So that is one of the hobbies. And the second one is this is something that I started doing maybe 3-4 years ago. I've been doing a lot of touring on motorcycles. So that again is, I love doing it, and I don't know, maybe when you guys have the opportunity, and if you get the opportunity, try it out, get on a motorcycle and then just, it's very difficult to put.
What do you value more, the destination or the journey?
It's, I would say, definitely, I cannot put a pin on which is more, which is less. It's the everything, the journey and the destination. Because yes, the journey definitely is, sometimes it throws challenges at you. Sometimes complications, and you get through all of this. And then if it's not a nice destination, there's no reward at the end of it. No. So I would want to ride, go through all of these, and then go to a place where when I sit down and I look at the mountains or something, and be like, wow,
this is what I worked for.
That was totally worth it. So riding is something that I have been doing. So off late, it's been riding, cricket. Those two, I want to say.
You happen to have an interest when it comes to cameras, photography as well?
I did. So that, thanks for reminding me that I did have a passion for photography. This was back in maybe 8-9 years ago. I did do a little bit of photography. So my uncle and one of my cousins, they are into photography, and we would go on a lot of tours where we would do, it's called birding, bird photography. And then we did some, mammals. We went to a couple of tiger reserves. So yes, so there was a phase in my life where I did photography a little bit, and yeah.
What if you were given the time and opportunity once again? Will you go for it?
That's a very nice question. The reason why I stopped, I would love to do it again, but it's a very, very expensive hobby.
Understood, yeah.
So the thing is, I'll give you an example. So we are in Beda, Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's maybe 5:30, 6 in the morning, where there's not a lot of light. We are all waiting to see a leopard that is sitting in one hill. Okay. So these leopards are very well camouflaged, right? So it's very difficult to see the leopard. And it's say about 600 meters away. Now, so finally we spot the leopard, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, take out your cameras, take photos, and then everyone takes out their big lenses, the big cameras, and they start clicking photographs. And I, with my small, humble, small camera, I'm taking photographs. And then we are, everyone's comparing, oh, look at mine. So the guy who has a lens that is, say, 6 lakhs and a body which is 6 lakhs with some, so, and I did not have all of that. So I felt that, photography is a very expensive hobby, and you're going to get the best result when you have the best equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So at that point of time, and even now, I don't think I want to invest so much, I didn't want to pick up an expensive hobby.
Sir, if you get a chance to leave Earth for 5 years, to spend time in space and shoot photos, would you go for it?
Oh, wow, that's so funny, because Yesterday I watched a movie called Passengers. Have you guys heard or seen that movie?
Yeah.
So this movie is about how there are 5,000 passengers on some spaceship which is traveling to another planet, and due to some malfunction this guy wakes up before time. And then it's a interesting movie. I don't know the rating of the movie, so I cannot recommend the movie. But anyway, that's a very situational. I just watched that movie yesterday, and you're asking me this question. I would love to do it. No doubt about it. I am all for adventures. I am all for anything new you throw at me. I'll just go grab it. I don't think what's going to happen before, after, now. I love anything that is challenging, anything, and that's an opportunity, many people can get. And
Okay.
if you're going to give me such an opportunity, yes, I would love to do it. So, you guys have been asking me all the questions. So why don't I ask you some questions?
Okay.
So just to reiterate, you are from grade 11, you're from grade 7, right?
Yes.
12.
Grade 12. Grade 12
Yeah.
and grade 7.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with you. What are your passions? What are your hobbies?
Education.
Outside of education, yeah. We're not going to. I'm not going to tell your teachers. I'm not your teachers. Yeah.
For me personally, after I came back to this country, I don't know why, but the music has, thrilled me a lot. As in when it comes to instruments, when it comes to learning them by myself, or when it comes to figuring out something, when it comes to music notations and everything, it's kind of something that interests me a lot. I don't know why, but then that's something that I'm really good at by myself.
So just to go back a little, when you said you came back to this country, so where were you before this?
Before I came to India last year, I lived in the UAE.
Okay.
And the education system there, the thing was, to be honest, the school is doing a really good job. The education system there, it didn't allow much of co-curricular activities. Like when it comes to music, when it comes to art and dance, it doesn't enrich that. It doesn't enrich that interest in students. It was basically the management was very constricted. But after coming here, I came to know something about the school having a choir, a band. That kind of, I don't know, it just sparked some interest in me out of nowhere. And I found myself suddenly teaching myself guitar, drums.
So
And-
all of this happened in the 1 year?
Last 1 year, yeah.
So in the last 1 year, you have realized that you love musical instruments, and you have also taught yourself how to learn an
Yeah.
instrument, and now you can play songs. Wow.
And before last year, I should say, singing was something that I never thought I could do, to be honest. But then a lot has changed. A lot.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm, there were days when I would wonder. There were days when I would wonder, okay, we're giving music classes to everybody. Till now I've never heard, I was talking about the feedback. This is a wonderful feedback that I have received, and we are so happy to know that in a short span, you were able to identify something that you love, and then now you're. That's quite amazing, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, why don't
So dance, I've been doing dance since I was 5. So
5 years old.
5 years old. So I would really love to learn most of the dance forms, not only one, semi-classical. There are many dance forms. So I would love to learn all those. And photography. So last year I started taking pictures.
Okay, great. Wow, wonderful. Now about photography, so you said last year you started
Last year.
taking pictures. So what did you shoot, or how did you start, or how did the journey start?
Like very beautiful flowers.
Okay.
So the garden.
Okay.
So I found like there were so beautiful flowers there. Like taking a picture of it would be really nice. So I started taking it using my father's camera.
Okay. So do you like people photography, or do you like nature photography? Have you discovered that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That
But
is
I think
something.
both.
Yeah, something you will, as you
Discover.
discover over time, something which is just interesting. Photography
Yes.
is really, it's about. Don't get demotivated by what I said earlier about having the most expensive equipment to get the best picture. It's depends, when you're doing, say, bird photography, you're going to need the fastest camera with the fastest shutter speed and the biggest aperture and all those things. But yeah, you can. It's about being in the right place at the right time, and you can get some great pictures.
Yes.
And photography just doesn't end at photography. There's so many different. Like you can be a journalist and you can take some amazing pictures. So there's a lot to photography than
Yes, sir.
just
So, wrapping things up, what are your views on, what are your suggestions for the upcoming generation and education?
I think this is we'll take it as a two-part question.
Yeah.
So first, if I have to say my views on what is education according to me, and what we have been doing till now, and what we should be doing, can we break it down?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm asking.
No problem.
So, see, education, at least according to me, we are probably looking at it wrong. Because, think about it. The first, as a child, as a toddler, what do? You are very inquisitive, right? You run, you're exploring, you're touching everything, you're feeling everything. You pick up a glass, you pour the water, you're looking at the waterfall. All this is, the child or the toddler is learning. You're asking questions. What is this? What is this? What does this do? What does this do? If I push this, will it fall? Will it break? It's always exploring. The child is always exploring. And the moment they come into the school on the first day, what do? What does the teacher do on the first day of school? Sit down. Don't get up from your chair. Right? That's the first thing we do. And so I strongly feel we have to rethink how we are looking at education. We have to sort of maybe reinvent the wheel, if not too extreme. We should definitely be looking at, we have to rethink education. And I feel the upcoming NEP is taking a step in the right direction. That's how I would put it as. The NEP is definitely looking at it as it's a step in the right direction. For students, education should be something, or schools should be something wherein they enjoy coming to every day.
Yeah.
Right? For a student to wake up and think, oh, today I have to go to school, I have to study this, that's not how education should be. Education should be something that when you wake up in the morning, you should be excited to go, because on that day you're going to think, oh, this is what I'm going to look for in my school, or this is what I'm going to research, or this is what I'm going to learn.
I'm going to get to know
Okay, so you're watching some movie or you're watching something, and you see, oh, this is a new instrument. How does it work? Or what does it do? So your school should be a platform where you come and you increase your knowledge in this. It should not be something where everything is very closed. It should be more open, and that's my that's what I feel we should be heading to. It's very difficult to do it overnight because we have inherited a legacy, and I feel as a whole we are all moving towards a more inclusive education where everybody's every student interests are catered to, and hopefully someday we should be able to do that. And now, as for the second part of the question, which is what the advice, again going back to whatever we discussed, be be passionate about something. Try different hobbies. You try different things, and maybe one of them you'll find that, oh, this is my passion. So stick to that. And then if you can monetize that passion, nothing like it. Right? Now you're passionate about photography, dance, you're passionate about music. Now if that can take care of you, that can take care of you and your family, great. You don't have to look for anything else. But if it cannot, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You can do something and still alongside this. There was I met somebody recently, and they told me his father told him, please. You should take advice from these 65, 70-year-old guys, because they would have seen more in life. Right? They would have experienced so much. And so his father told him two things. One is play a sport. And the second one is pick an instrument. Now, that is an advice which I sat and I thought about it. See, that sport is again the social. That brings in the social element, you getting along with people. And the music instrument is your time. That's where you sit, you play music, you think
your own skills and senses.
So I think that was a great piece of advice. So that is something that I would like to tell all the students. Try to play a game or a team sport, any game. Because I strongly believe that your physical well-being is directly connected to your mental health. So keep yourself active, stay healthy, and that will give you the strength to face whatever life has to throw. Right? If you are physically and mentally strong, because see, nothing is going to be a cakewalk. Today your parents are taking care of you, life is good, but it's not going to be the same. As you are going to get older, things are going to,
you need to step out.
So at that point of time, you need to be strong to face the world. Whatever the world throws at you, you should be able to face that. So let me ask you guys, so if I had to ask the same question back at you, what are your thoughts about on the current education system? And if you had to change anything, or would you change anything, or would you accept it the way it is? Let's start with you and then we'll go to Ross.
For me, when it comes to education, I should say the current education system is actually doing pretty good when it comes to theory and everything, but when it comes to the practical aspect, like suddenly you take students, you teach them the different formulas, but then you put them in a situation where they have to apply these formulas. They would kind of panic. Like that's basically what we do in the practical lab. Like when we go for the chemistry practical lab or the physics practical lab, we basically apply what we learn to what we need to do. But then again, the results of what you need to get, those are constricted to the students. So I guess it should be a bit more open, a bit more. You should be able to, approach complications, and these complications need to teach you the basic concept of everything. It's not that these formulas should be used. You need to know why you're using these formulas. Why is it?
I have to agree with you, and I have thought about this, and I think I have discussed this with our principal ma'am also. We should be teaching the kids. Okay, so if you face this problem, this is how you find the solution. We should not be asking the kids to memorize the solution and then recite it on an examination paper where you're given 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So yes, there is, there are these solutions. There are many ways.
But why this?
Exactly. So we should be teaching. That's another thing about examination, that we should not be testing these kids on whether this formula or Pythagoras theorem. I mean, it's been very long since. But we should not be testing the children on these things. We should be enabling them, empowering them on how to find a solution to the problem. That's it. We just guide them. This is how you go and find the solution.
That's not.
I agree with you. That's a great.
Einstein said once, when he was asked about by-hearting facts, he stated that I can look up facts online. I can look up facts in a book.
Exactly.
But then I need to know why this fact is so and so. I need to know how it came to be.
Exactly.
It's basically the point.
If you come to think about it, the scientists in ISRO or NASA, nobody's coming and checking them whether they wrote the formula, without looking into the book. Everything is available. You can look at the books. You can go back to your textbooks and refer these things. But then, at the foundational stage, why are we testing them? Why are we testing them whether they can by heart it or not? So, essentially, what we are doing is, there is some student who is really bright, who's really interested, say in physics or chemistry or biology, but he's not good at mugging things up, or he's not good at absorbing things and then just memorizing and then putting it back in a very stressful environment. Right? You have, these are your examination dates, and you have to come at this time.
And there's a time frame.
Now, he may not be good at doing all this. So, he's obviously going to get out of it. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to go do something else. Now, whose loss is that? We lost a bright mind because he couldn't cope up with this.
The education system. Yeah.
Now, there's a flip side to this, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Why do we have exams and why do we have entrance tests? Have you thought about that?
Basically, tests your skill, I guess. But then.
Now, at least in my opinion, the reason why all of this came into existence or in place is India is a country with 1.3 billion people.
Yeah.
Are you going to give engineering seat to everybody? Are you going to give? So, at least in my opinion, they have to find a solution to providing opportunities, but whatever solution we found,
it's not the best.
It's not the best.
It's working for the majority, but
exactly. It's working, but I don't think it's the right solution.
Yeah.
I think we have
we
to
can do a lot better.
Yes, we can definitely do a lot better. We can, there is a lot of scope for improvement in how we do things and how we are looking at things.
It's all about perspective and how you do it.
Yeah. And then hopefully, by the time you guys are in positions where you can make change, you can definitely bring about.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And that's it on that. Thank you, sir, once again for spending time with us. And thank you once again for staying tuned with us. Hope you really enjoyed this episode. Please just subscribe and wait for more content.